Well, hello everybody. This is Tom here, and welcome to Cab Crew Wednesday. And I'd like to say hello to everybody in the chat so far. Grandpa Rails, how you doing? Dwight, how you doing, Dwight? Peyton Rail Fan, how you doing? And John from Schuylkill Valley, how you doing, John? And Ray Ron VR, how you doing? Glad to see you all here. Can you hear me good? Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. And I came home to a major problem with my one computer. Okay, great, thanks. Yeah, my desktop computer has two monitors on it, and they won't come on anymore. So I just said, "Hey, Bernard, see how you doing? Good to see you here." And so I had to get my laptop and get it all set up. So I just want to make sure everything's good. Hey, Dave BNSF, how you doing? Good to see you here. Yeah, so I sent an email to one of my friends to see what I can do about these two monitors. I don't know if it's the monitor or the connection to the computer, so I got to get that figured out. But this laptop is what I use in the train room, and I haven't had to use it for a while in there because I've been doing a lot of construction work in there. So that's that. So I'm in my office right now, and let's bring that down a little bit. And I know the computer's working because I can remotely connect into my desktop computer, which is good because I got a 3D print job going right now, and that's working off of my computer directly. And if the computer shut down, that would stop printing. So I was going to reboot the computer and see if that would fix it, but I don't know yet. So I'm going to give that a try after this finishes. But it's a 4-hour print, and it's about, I want to say that's 45% done. So it's got about 2.5 hours to go. So before I go to bed tonight, I should be able to reboot this big computer here of mine. And then today on the way home from work, it was foggy as heck, and the visibility was only. Hey, Steve from Stormy Sky Rail Productions, how you doing? Glad to see you make it in here. And hey, Tammy and Ray, how you doing? Good to see you guys in here. And so the drive home took a little while because the visibility was down to like less than a mile, so we couldn't see too much. But fortunately, there was a lot of cars on the road and the lights. But then there were some people, don't know where their brain is, they didn't have their lights on. And it wasn't just one, it was a couple of them. I think these cars nowadays, when you turn your windshield wipers on, the lights come on, but they don't have the back lights come on, and they only have the parking lights come on the front. So it's kind of strange. Should have the headlights come on, and then the rear lights would be on. So, it's real foggy there too, Dwight. Yeah. So, Artie wants the link. I can post it in here. Because, let me see. Copy. And then I'll paste it here. See if I can do it that way. Okay, that's there for Artie. So if anybody else wants to come up, they're welcome to too. And so I've been working a lot on my layout, and I was bringing up the system, and I discovered that some of my signals weren't working right. They flashed on and off, on and off, on and off. I was going, what the heck's going on? So then I called up NCE, and I got some information from them. And what I had to do is put a resistor, a 1K resistor, on each wire of the signal, because I have dwarf signals. They only have a red and green light on them. And then the search signals have 3 LEDs, red, yellow, and green. So that's 3 wires plus the common wire. So that's 4 wires. And then the dwarf signals only have 3 wires. So I had to take them all off and put a resistor on them, and then reset the light that controls them. And I got my 3rd level all done. That took me like a week to get that done. And it was a lot of work. So I got to do all of them, because some of the levels I have, some of the signals aren't working correctly. So I had to go through and do that. So that's what I'm going to do. So, okay, I got some people down here in the basement waiting. So I'm going to bring them up. Add the stage.
G'day, folks. How are we?
How you doing, Artie?
Yeah, doing fine.
Yeah, how you like America?
I'll keep that. I'll keep my thoughts under my hat as it sounds. But being here where I am at the moment, when I released the chain and shackle so I can get my freedom tonight, yeah, it's been good.
Yeah. So where are you at now? Down in North Carolina?
How dare you need to wash your mouth out. No, I'm in the South Carolina.
South Carolina, yeah.
Yeah. I'm at Ray and Tammy's place. Ray was here somewhere. Do you want to say hello, Ray? No. Hey, Grandpa Rose. Yeah. Tammy's in the background.
Yeah.
On her phone. Yeah, it's been good. It's been an interesting trip. Let's put it this way: it's been full of adventure. So, and here is come over. Here's young Ray.
Yeah, how you doing, Ray?
How you doing, Tom?
Okay, how you doing?
Doing good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I might be driving up to Amherst this weekend because
Yeah. This guy here doesn't want me to go home. He wants me to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. With certain events that's happened here the other day, I've had to change my travel movements. I'm no longer going to be driving up. I will be relying on Amtrak to get me about to some of the locations. And unfortunately, there is some places I'm not going to be able to get to. I'm not going to be able to get to Prince, West Virginia at this point in state on this visit. So Peyton and everybody, I'm sorry, I cannot make it there on this trip. Unless a miracle happens between now and then. I won't be making it up there. I will be at Springfield this weekend. If the train doesn't get a flat tire, my buddy Ray's going to be there with his Aussie train collection that he's going to have to run with. You excited about that, Ray?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. So we'll be there both Saturday and Sunday.
As long as you take the Vegemite with you.
Did you guys hear that? She wants me to take the Vegemite with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not allowed to open the jar here. I'm forbidden to open the jar.
See what came by?
Hey?
You see that train came by?
Is it going to be a train?
No, you saw what came by?
Yeah. Yeah. Now, yeah, so I'm not allowed to do my Vegemite, but I will do it. She's gonna have to try it. She's just got to try it. I mean, I smuggled, I smuggled it over the border, and I actually smuggled a special blend that is actually very, very nice.
No, no.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, it's good for us.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And again, they when I went through customs, all I said was, "Yeah, I got Vegemite. They'll let me through." So, but no, it's been an interesting trip. I found out what Uber's like here in America. Do not trust them. They went to take me to a motel in LA, and they dropped me off 7 blocks away from where I was supposed to go.
Yeah.
And it was raining.
Yeah.
And luckily, it was in a nice part of LA, and a couple of people seen that it was actually a little bit disorientated, and they took me to the hotel that I was actually supposed to be at. So that was very nice of them. The flight over was good. I was actually quite lucky. Far south, so yeah, yeah, Bernard, but still in the south. I've had the opportunity to fly over in one of the new 350s of Fiji Airways. Very beautiful flight over. And then on the way from LA to here, I came on Spirit and actually gone on one of the brand new Airbuses again, the new A320 Neo. So that was actually quite good. I made it. That's the main thing. I made it here. So now I'm going to Springfield for this weekend. And then from there, I'm going to spend a bit of time at Boston. And then from Boston, I'm going to head over to Dave from Crooked River and Anthony Dodge. So I should be doing a live stream at Anthony Dodge's in 2-3 weeks' time.
Yep.
Now, this weekend's live stream may be a little bit early. I'm going to try to do a bit of live stream towards the end up at Amherst
Yeah.
because we're going to be exhausted. I mean, I'm still trying to get over the travel. For some reason, I've just been feeling bleh.
Yeah.
Not jet lagged. I just haven't been able to fall asleep.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the time change makes it, affects you sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes, but I did have a good sleep on Air Fiji, but ever since I landed in LA and that, I just haven't had a proper long sleep. G'day, Trackside Mike.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
But it's been an adventure. It's been full of adventure, let's put it that way. And look, I need to get out of the house, as a lot of you guys know. And hey, an adventure is a holiday, a vacation in itself.
Yeah.
Oh, and Tammy and Ray's layout. All I'm going to say is the cameras do not do it justice.
Mm-hmm.
When I walked into that shed, into the training room, into the shed, it was like, wow.
Yeah.
The camera does not do it justice one little bit.
Yeah.
I will because I'll be returning here after my trip because I'm going to help out Ray on a couple of little things and whatnot, and I've got a few more things to deal with here. I will do a video tour of their layout. But yeah, if anyone's down here and want to come in and say hello, I believe that's all right, Tammy. To come in.
Yeah, you just told them to.
Oh, can they come around and say hello and look at the layout?
Yes.
Yes, they can. And I'll tell you what, you guys will be just blown away.
Yeah.
Um, Now, this my Fun Day Friday this week. The video might come in a bit late because I just haven't had time to do the video at this stage, so that might be coming in a little bit late on the Friday.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, everything takes time. That's all.
So, what are you thinking about coming up to? Are you now, Tom?
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna see what the weather looks like first before I drive up there. It's about
Well, I have brought heat over, so you guys can't complain. I didn't bring any heat and a
yeah.
little bit of showers, but I mean, I brought the heat over. Didn't I, Tammy?
Yep.
Yeah, I did bring the heat over.
Yeah. Well, I'm just waiting for the weather to see how it's going to be because it's a 210 miles from my house to there.
Right.
Yeah, it's about 3 hour drive.
Yeah, and you don't want to be caught in a storm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if you make it there. It'd be good to be able to see it in person because who
Yeah.
knows next time I make it up to that part of the world.
Yeah. Yeah, they say it's supposed to rain tomorrow, and then the next day it's going to rain into Friday morning. Then it's supposed to be nice on Saturday, but then it's supposed to snow on Sunday. So,
Well, there you go. That means that you'll have to come up on Saturday then.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
I did.
what time does it open up? Because I'm going to leave early in the morning.
I don't know. Tammy, what time does it open? Is it 9 or 10 o'clock?
I think it's 10.
10?
Tammy says it might be 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I'll probably leave like 6 o'clock in the morning. That'll get me there about 9 o'clock or
There you go. My trackside Mike says 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah. So Peyton, how you doing?
Pretty good.
That's good.
Yeah. I'm not going to be on for too long because, as I said, I've got a few other things I have to get done.
Yeah, I'm only going to be on here for like a little over an hour anyway.
Yeah, no, I'll be going a bit. I'll leave another 10 minutes because I just got to prepare a few other things before the trip. I've got to sort out my SIM card just came in for the American phone number, so I need to sort that out so I don't get charged that horrific roaming charges, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I've got to sort that out before I go to bed and get some sleep because we've got to get up about 2:30 in the morning. So
yeah,
because lovely Tammy is going to be taking me up to Charleston Station.
Charlotte.
Oh, Charlotte. Charlotte, yeah. I'm coming up with the Crescent up to Washington, and then I change at Washington to go straight up to Springfield.
Yeah.
Thanks, Grandpa Rose.
Yeah.
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 So what have you been up to, Tom? Apart from
I've been trying to print a truck.
What's that came with?
Yeah, it's too small though. Because look at this one. This is the one. This is one I bought, and that's right next to it. It's too small.
Doesn't look right.
Yeah, don't look right. Yeah. So then I got another one, and it failed to print too. And that has a sleeper cab on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't print right. So I'm going to put supports on it this time and see if it works.
Yeah.
But
Good, Papa John.
But because these trailer cars here is what I want them to go on, right? And if I put that on there, it doesn't look right.
G'day, James. Yeah.
Yeah, see, it's too small. But if you put this guy on it, it looks right.
Yeah.
Right. So I got to get him as big as this thing. So I had to resize it and everything. And I got the length right and the width right, but I can't get the height to go up higher. You know, it doesn't work right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So we got somebody else down in the basement. Let's see. Let's add him here.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Randall. How you doing?
Well, hey, Artie. Hey, Peyton.
Hey, Randall.
Well, I'm doing better than I was last night. It got a little rough last night, so.
Yeah,
Was
hey,
she
Jay.
getting rough? Was she a little bit rough on you last night, Randall?
No, Artie. It was kidney stones again.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
are you
no.
still on the road?
No,
Randall?
you're good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But that was that kind of came a little unexpected last night. I think I did the stream earlier with Peyton that day and
Yeah.
felt pretty good. Went to bed, and then 1 o'clock I woke up and I was in terrible pain. So
Yeah, that's painful. Hey, Mickey, how you doing?
Plenty of fluids. Drink plenty of fluids. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
kidney.
there's nothing worse than that. But at least you're in a better area than what I was when I had them last time in the US. I was down in Spartan, down in Sarasota. Yeah.
and they say that's good too for that. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So are you home or are you still on the road, Randall?
I'm still in the hotel. So
Yeah.
So what are you charging an hour there, Randall?
What am I charging an hour?
Yeah.
I have probably nothing right now. That's been the last thing on my mind. I'm waiting for him to still call me on a trip. So feels like it's been forever since I've been out. So
Lots of beer, Grandpa Rose. I tell you what.
hey, JD.
I got 6 blinds in the bag, and I tell you what, they give me nothing but trouble since I left Sydney.
Yeah.
I've lost my camera tripod, and I lost a mug too, because I had to repack the bag because apparently my bag was overweight.
Hey, Stormy, Bernard C, Trayman 1.
Good night, guys. So when I repacked the bag, because I thought it was 23 kilos with FEG, they were nuts is the worst thing I think you can do for that, Dave. Yeah, when I thought it was supposed to be 23 kilos, so I had to unpack my bag and put the stuff in the carry-on. Go to check my weights check my bag in. Then they say, "Oh no, you're gonna have 30 kilos in that bag." Oh. But anyway, when I get to LA, you try to get on Spirit. My bag's again heavy. G'day, Chris. My bag's
Chris, how
heavy
you doing?
again. So here I'm trying to do a juggle and whatnot, just so I can get it down to a certain limit, so I don't have to pay for excess weight. And I think that's where I lost the, and it was Patty's mug too. And that's where it said in one of those 2 places where I lost my tripod at port and 1 mug. But I just wish they'd all go under 1 weight standard just to make it easier.
Yeah, well, yeah, nobody standardizes anything.
No, but it's supposed to. Everybody's got their own idea, but I mean, there is a standard, but they're messing up the standard. I mean, I was at LA with Spirit and 3 scales was showing 3 different weights. It's like the last scale I put on, it says that I lost 4 pounds in my bag, and it's like, no, that can't be. There's no way in the world that I'll lose 4 pounds in that bag for just removing 2-3 items.
Yeah.
Maybe 1.5 pounds, but not that much. Yeah. So did you do those 3D printed trucks? Did you actually draw that up yourself, or did you download that?
I downloaded it. And um, when it came in, it was like that small. It was like the size of a pinhead. When I put it in my cure slicer, it was so small. So then I took the file and put it in the 3D Builder program I have, and then clicked on it. It showed it a good size in there, and then it had errors. So I repaired the errors there. Then when I put it in cure, it came up the right size.
Yeah.
So I don't know what these guys are doing when they're saving the files up there on the Thingiverse. Sometimes they probably don't pay attention to what they're doing. So, and then this one here, I downloaded. I found another one, and I downloaded that with the sleeper on it. And when I brought that in, that was real tiny too. And I had to run it through the 3D Builder program, and it had errors in it, and it corrected it. But when I printed it, it just the two back wheels were still on the build plate. It prints it this way,
Okay. Yeah.
right? And this thing here, the cab, was down to here, hanging.
Oh.
Yeah, so I cured it and it went back in place, but it still didn't print correctly. So I got to put supports on it because these wheels, the front wheels, weren't touching the build plate, and they should be.
Good day, Phil Rail Dog. How are you, bud? Yeah.
Hey, George, how you doing?
Yeah, I'd like to do up some more of those models on the Kenworth range back home, but I'll see how it goes somewhere down the track anyway.
Yeah. So I tried to print them, and this was the first one, and then one time I printed this. That's all it printed, and that was it. But this was really wide. This was too wide, so I was just playing around with different sizes. The first time I printed it, it came out and looked good, and then I go, "Oh, that came out okay." But then I put it up against a truck, the trailer, and I says, "That's way too small." So I said, "Okay, just resize the darn thing." So I took my calipers out, measured this length, measured this width, measured this height, and got those measurements, put it in, and boom. But it won't print it this tall for whatever reason. I don't know why. So I think the models have some problems in it. So
possibly.
Yeah. So because I can print anything else on there with no problem, So and then my Viper was giving me problems because this part here is something that we 3D printed for the Viper.
Yeah.
Okay. And then this gets put on the metal part of the Viper, and then the cable goes through this here piece, and that keeps the cable in place, right? Well, this part here is where the sensor goes, and there's one screw hole in there, and it was still loose. It wasn't going real tight. And what was happening was it was moving too much. And then the filament, I would start hearing clickety clack on the printer. And I'm going, what's that noise? So I sent a message out to Anycubic support, and then they got back to me. They wanted me to take a picture. I was printing these brackets for my subway system.
Yeah.
And I started one at 9 o'clock at night, and it's a 4-hour print, so it would be done in the morning. Well, I came in the morning, and it was only about 1/8 of an inch off the build plate. And I said, oh, it failed to print. And normally when it fails to print, there's a big wad of filament on the nozzle. Okay.
Yeah.
But there was nothing on the nozzle. And then I looked at the filament, and the filament was on a 90-degree bend right where it goes into the sensor.
Yeah.
So that stopped the filament from going in. So I said, okay, I'm going to take this thing off and bolt it back originally to it. And ever since I did that, printing fine again. So I said, okay, I'm going to redesign this and cut off this part here that the sensor goes on. So the sensor can still be mounted to the printer directly. And then this gets bolted on and it'll keep the cable from moving. So I got to redesign this bracket. So this is two pieces. This screws onto this piece here, this angle piece. This here has two screws on it here, and that screws that piece on. So I don't have to do anything with this piece. I just have to cut this off in the design and smooth it out. But I got to measure it to make sure it'll fit in there. So, but as long as I keep an eye on it, that cable seems to be moving fine. But sometimes Jim Tedesco had problems with his because he didn't have this part yet, and the cable got torn off and because it was moving back and forth, and it just yanked the cable right off. So it got caught in something. So, and I remotely connect to my computer from work, and I start up another print on here, and it goes, so I can keep an eye on it, stuff like that. Because I have a camera up on the wall here that goes right down on top of that printer, and I can watch the camera from my phone. I can see it, so I can keep an eye on it and stuff. So, but it's is that a Kenworth? No, it's a Fleetmaster. Bernard, it's a Fleetmaster.
All right, guys. I'm gonna have to leave it because I'm getting a bit naughty here. It's been a big day and there's whatnot. So those who are coming up to Amherst, see you guys there. Otherwise, have fun, stay safe, and see you guys during the weekend, hey?
Yeah.
See you, Artie.
Okay, Artie. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Take it easy. Bye.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Yeah. So, well, Bernard, if I could find a Mac, I would do it. Yeah, the wheels are right size, Dave. Yeah, they're good, but the cab is just too low. It needs to be higher because this truck here is one that I purchased. I don't know where I got it from. I can't remember, but I ordered this because this here is what I pull. This is a trailer that I 3D printed. This is for my cement plant. So this is a cement truck, trailer. And I put all the reflectors on there. And then on the back, I have the lights and reflectors on there. So this was 3D printed, all one piece. And then I painted it metallic silver. So that's what that truck pulls. So I just got that trailer out, that cab out to try to line it up, make sure that it was, similar size. But I don't know. It's got to be the model. That's something to do with. So I got to play around with it more. Now, Jim Tedesco printed his, and he got it to print okay on his rosin printer. But it wasn't the same size. He put it up against one of his trucks, and it still was lower. So, but this one here, when this is the first print, the front end nose didn't print all the way down. So I don't know. But, that's what 3D printing does. You have to play around with them. Yeah, Chris, I'm going to be driving up. I think I'm going to drive up Saturday, and then I'm going to play it by ear and see if I'll stay over and stay for Sunday. Just want to make sure the weather's okay before I drive 210 miles. I had to drive home tonight in thick fog. It was like pea soup out there. And it just, people don't turn their lights on. It just drives me crazy. Why you don't have your driving lights on? They have their little itty bitty parking lights on because they have their wipers on. Why the manufacturers did that way is beyond me. These engineers, sometimes I don't know where they're thinking. Hey, Mike from Deep Run Railroad, how you doing? So, yeah, so it's just like, it only took me 2 hours to get home, which is on a good side, but normally I can get home in an hour and 40 or an hour and 20, hour and 30 minutes because it's 81 miles. So, but sometimes it takes me 3 to 4 hours to get home because of accidents and shuts down the whole highway and you can't get out anywhere. So, but that's what's going, can't do nothing about the drivers out there.
Yeah, I know that all too well, Thomas.
Yeah. It's
I don't never proclaim myself to be a perfect driver, but daggum, there's some dandies out there.
Yeah.
Running up and down the road.
Yeah. Well, I got. I live right on the border of New Jersey and Pennsylvania, and in the morning, there's more cars from Pennsylvania on the highway than there is from New Jersey. It's unbelievable how many people come into New Jersey to go work. And and they like to hug the third lane. So we have a name for them people. We call them left lane dicks. And they sit out there in the left lane. They do 100 miles an hour to get there, and then they go slow. Hey, Sparky, how you doing? Glad you can make it in here. Yeah, that's right, Sparky. There's cars with no lights on them, and then who pulls up behind me is a pickup truck, and he has a Christmas tree of lights on the front of his, and they're all bright. And you got to sit there, and I had to change my mirror, how you drop it down so it doesn't reflect into your eyes and everything. I don't know what these guys think. They need to have 100 lights on the front of their vehicle. And some of these newer vehicles have them real bright lights. It looks like their high beams are on all the time.
Yeah, and they're not. They're on dim.
Yeah, they're on dim.
I know the van I drive, the rail crew vans. I would have the lights on dim, and people would think I would have the lights on bright, and they bright light me. I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do. Turn my headlights off.
Yeah. So I don't know why they're that big, Yeah. So, but that's how we go. Oh, A and C, R, and N scale and life journey. How you doing? I don't know what his first name is, but I never saw him in here before. But that's good to see you. Glad you can make it in here. Hope everybody makes sure to hit that like button. Doesn't cost anything.
Oh, hey, ANC. I've seen him in other chats, Thomas.
Yeah.
So, and Trekside Mike, hello, and hello to everybody else in the chat too. Now you was talking about people running around with their headlights off. I was going to tell you a little story. I come out of Memphis one time. I dropped the crew off at the hotel down there, and I got ready to get in the right-hand lane to take the exit ramp to get out of Memphis. And I didn't know. I just happened to look, and I saw the street lights reflect off of a car. Some cat had pulled up alongside me. He didn't have his headlights on or nothing. It was at night.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
if I was ready to get over in that lane. If I hadn't saw that street light reflect off of his car, I would have doored him. So,
yeah. So, what can you do?
Yeah.
The other thing too, I need some stuff to finish up part of my layout. And I'm getting my stuff from Iron Planet Hobbies a lot. And they don't have anything in stock. Everything I want from them, they don't have in stock. So I added my name to the wish list they have, and I'm waiting to see if they get the stuff in stock. But I'm not quite ready for that stuff yet, but I have a folder that I keep everything that I need. And then I say, okay, let me order these now, and let me order these now, and then I'll be ready to use them. But I'm still printing parts for the subway system, which I want to get finished. And then once I get that finished, then those 2 trains will be running there. And so I'll have 8 trains running at the same time, and maybe a 9th one. I got to find out for sure if I'm going to do that, because I have 2 engines that I have to get running. Once I get those 2 engines running, then I can add them and add a train for them. And those are the ones Jason did a video on. He was putting dual decoders in them. So these 2 engines I have dual decoders in them, because they have 2 motors. So that'll be, I have to finish up them, because the motors, they were Athearn motors, and the motor mounts on them deteriorated. They got really bad, and they just broke off. So I went on Athearn's site, and they had those parts. So I ordered them, and then they came, because I found the site that somebody had a 3D file for those, but they didn't work at all. So they weren't the right size, and I wasn't going to monkey around with that. So I just went to Athearn and paid a couple dollars for the motor mounts. So I got to put the motor mounts on there so that it'll hold the motor in place. And then it'll be good to go. Then I can set up the CVs in those engines and go with it. So just a matter of getting some time to work on those engines. They're in a box. They're in the folder for be worked on, but I have other projects that are more important to get done first. So no, tomorrow after work 2 to 3. Oh, he's talking to somebody. That was Trackside Mike. Mike, Deep Run Railroad. It's an Athearn Blue Box. It's from 1978, and it has 2 motors in the engine. They were a SD40DD and dual engine. So they're Southern Pacific engines. And I sent them to Jason, and he decided to put 2 decoders in, 1 for each motor. And the one motor is a sound motor decoder, and the other decoder is just a motor decoder. So, and when you set the CVs in the first decoder, the CVs in the second decoder automatically get to be the same. So they sync up together. And then what you do is you disconnect the first decoder, the sound one, and then you go into the second decoder, and then you set 2 CVs, I forget what they are, to lock the CVs. So that way, if you change a CV by accident, it won't change the CVs in that one. So there's plenty of things that you got to do. But once I start working with them, I'll have all the other stuff done, and I can dedicate my time to getting them working. So, but that's the things that I've been working on. And this 3D printing stuff has been driving me crazy. But I like to get this cab truck finished. Once I start on something, I don't stop until it's working or finished. So, like I have this car here, I got from an estate sale. There's a guy on YouTube that he posts what he does. He goes around to people that have passed on, and then he gets all the stuff, brings it in, then he inventories it all, and then he puts it on a video, and then you can pick what you want. And so I got this car because I have an SCL engine to go with it, and I'm going to make this a sound car. So the only thing it didn't have was a coupler on the one end, because it has those metal clips, and I didn't have any of them. So I got a 12-pack of bathroom clips, and then I clipped it on and put a KD coupler on it. And then these wheels are plastic wheels, so I got to change them out to metal wheels. And I got 2 wheels with brass tube coming that I can solder a wire on, and then drill a hole through the bottom, and then wire up the sound card decoder, and then it'll get power from the wheels. So that's another car that I'm working on. That's for the cement train that I put in. Yeah, corn. Yeah, that's right, Sparky. Corn country rails. That's the guy. Yeah.
I had to make an attempt to fix one of my freight cars a little bit ago. I got out there yesterday and didn't realize it, and somehow I broke the end cage on it. So
yeah,
I tried to glue it all back together, and it's pretty crooked still, but I guess it still rolls. So
yeah. So and so that's what I'm doing with that, and some of the my rolling stock, I'm still working on getting the KD couplers the right height, and making sure that they all have resistor wheels on them. So I'm doing that a little at a time, because I want to move them in and out of the yard, and I want to make sure that they line up, and that I have magnets in the yard already, and then they'll automatically uncouple and everything. So I have to see. So yeah, I just heard a click. And sometimes the filament is stuck together on the roll, and that's what I had happen to me. Let's say today's Wednesday. I had that happen to me on Saturday. The print stopped because the filament was seized together on the reel. So what I had to do was pull the filament out all the way back and cut it off, and then I put it in again, and it stopped printing, and it was making them like sponges. The prints came out, but it was like sponge. I could put my finger right through the model. So I just said, I got a bad roll of filament here, because it was still bound. It wasn't like the filament that was coming out was underneath a couple layers of filament. It was, not wound properly. So I sent it back to Amazon, and they shipped out the other one the same day, and I had it the next day. So that's why I got to be able to print over on Sunday. So yeah, so they do a good turnaround when you do your returns and stuff. Yeah, you had to unroll all the way, Mike. Yeah, well, I'm not going to do that because I started unrolling it a little bit, and then I saw it was all intertwined and everything. And I says, that's it. It's going back. And Amazon took it back, no problem. And they sent me another one in replace. Hey, Kyle Stevens, how you doing? Glad to see you make it in here.
Hey, Kyle.
Yeah, so it's just the way it is, Oh, it was a half a roll. Yeah. Well, Yeah, mine was right at the top, and I got one piece out of it that I could use, but then after that, I started having problems. Yeah, like rewinding old film. Yeah, I remember those days. How about a 35 millimeter camera? I still have one of those, but I can't find 35 millimeter film anywhere. It's a Canon. It's a good camera. Still have it, you know. And but nobody has film anymore. So that's what you're gonna do. So now we have our camcorders and everything's digital. Or your phone or whatever. I might take my camcorder with me to Amherst, but we'll see. You don't like night driving there, Sparky? Yeah, I don't mind driving nighttime. It's a lot less traffic at nighttime, especially in these parts. But I'm probably going to leave. If I come up Saturday, I'm going to leave at probably 6 a.m. in the morning. And if I can get out of New Jersey before 7 or 8 o'clock, then I'll be okay. Because it takes me an hour to get to the, I don't know if I'm going to take the Tappan Zee or the GW Bridge. I haven't decided yet. But either way, it'll be crowded after 8 o'clock in the morning. So I want to get there. I want to get through there before 8 o'clock, even on a weekend. So. But oh, Walmart and Amazon have film? Well, I'll have to check that out because I got a zoom lens for that camera and everything, but I haven't used it in a long, long time. Yeah, I think I'm taking 95 up to from well, where I live, I'm about 20 minutes from Route 80. That's exit 4 on Route 80 in New Jersey. So I have to go about an hour across Route 80, but that takes you to the GW Bridge. I can go up 287, go all the way up to New York that way and get on in the New York and then cut over and get on a Tappan Zee Bridge. But I'm not sure yet. I'll just see where my Wise app decides to take me. Yeah, Kyle, I used to work a third shift when I was in computer operations. When I first started out in the computer field, I had to work third shift, and there was nobody on the road then. But that's how I got used to doing that. And I used to drive from here to Florida, and we would go nonstop. And we didn't stop. Like when my parents used to drive us down to Florida, we would stop in South Carolina, get a hotel, motel or hotel room and sleep overnight and then get up and go the rest of the way. But I drive nonstop. And when I got married, we drove down to Florida, and I drove for about, maybe 12, 13 hours. And then I said, I'll let my new wife decide, let her drive. We were in Georgia. And I said, just stay on 95. Don't get off. Well, somehow she got off on 95 and we were somewhere in the boonies in Georgia. And I just happened to open my eye and I go, that doesn't look like 95. And we had to drive all around until we got on back onto 95. I think she hit construction and got scared and then took a turn off the interstate. Yeah, south of the border. Yep, that's right. We used to stop at the south, a little below south of the border. I think Dillon, South Carolina, it was that we used to go. It's been a long time since that happened. We used to go to Miami all the time. That was before Disney World was there. So you take 84 to 91, Mike, Chris. Yeah. Yeah, that's I was looking at the maps and I saw that route too, so I might go that way, get around New York City. But, yeah, they've been as if, yeah. I'm looking. How much are the tolls across I-90 now? No clue. Well, everything's gone up, so I can't imagine. Yeah, I think I-90 takes you right to Springfield. So, but I'm going to look at the maps again, see how that goes. But it was funny when I came home. I don't know if you heard me before, Randall. I came home and I have my desktop computer at home, and it has two big monitors on it, right? So that way I can do a lot of work. I can watch a YouTube video and I can work on the other side, right? I come home. Normally I just move my mouse on my little tray here, and then the screen comes up and I enter my password and get on. I move my mouse, and the two lights on the monitors are yellow because they're dark, but they're on, but they're yellow.
Yeah.
When I move them, they go blue. Well, they didn't go blue. Nothing happened. I unplugged them, plugged them back in, nothing. And one's a VGA connection to the computer, and the other one is a VGA to HDMI cable, because I have an HDMI adapter on my computer and a VGA adapter. So that's how I get both of them on there. So I said, I don't know what's going on. And I brought another monitor I had out in my shed in, and that didn't work either. So I might just get a USB to VGA adapter, plug it into a USB port, and see if the monitor comes up. So I don't think it's the monitors. It might be it could be the cables, but the other monitor has its own cable, so I wasn't using the same cables on that monitor. So I don't know. So I had to scramble to get my laptop into my office so I can do this video, because my train room, I don't have room to put it in because I got my creeper out there and all my other stuff, and I'm trying to get them things. I'm working on all that stuff. And,
I would run my little train over there, but shoot, the thing ran 7 hours yesterday during that stream, so I figure it needs a break tonight.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Oh, he needs to win the lottery so he can afford traveling. Otherwise, I'm stuck close to home. Yeah. Could be your video cord. Yeah. I'm thinking it's the video. It could be the cord, the cable, the VGA cables could be bad, but they could be dirty too. I was watching a YouTube video and a guy took a toothbrush and cleaned the tips. So they've been in this computer for 5 years. So, and they don't ever come out. So I don't know how they can get dirty. So I don't know, but at least I can remotely connect to it and then I can see what's going on, because I was printing this thing, and from Cure, I can print directly from my computer to that printer. I don't have to take a file, put it on the SD card, plug it in there, and print. So if I was going to restart my computer and see if that fixes it, but I'm not sure. So it's just things that happen that you have to troubleshoot, you know. And, you know, you would like everything to be just simple, you know. It's funny.
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend of mine at work the other day, and I says, you know, I was thinking the other day, I says, the human being, the body of somebody can go up to 90 to 100 years old and still be functional.
Mhm.
Maybe a little ailment here, a little ailment there. You buy a computer, it lasts a couple years and then it's dead. How's that possible? How can man not create things to last long? Well, it's simple. They want you to buy another one in 5 years, or another one in a year, or, you know, buy another car, or buy another TV or something, you know.
Well, I mean, even if you keep with a car, I mean, if you keep it maintained, it'll last a long time. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I had a Honda Civic that had 280,000 miles on it, and that was the car I ran into a wall because I was coming down a highway, and it was a sunny day. It was morning. It was sunny. Hadn't rained that I knew of. There was a foot of water on the highway, and I didn't see it. I hit that, spun out, spun around about 3 or 4 times. A pickup truck was behind me. He tried to go around me, and I hit him in the bumper, and he started spinning. And I went into the wall, bounced off, came off the wall, spun around, hit the wall again. The front end of the car was gone. The engine was still there. The front end of the car was gone. And from what I understand, when you hit something head on, the engines are supposed to drop because they don't want the engines coming through the firewall. Right. So that's what I thought. And the car is spun around, and it finally comes to a stop in the middle of the 2 lanes of 78 express lane. Now, tractor trailers were coming down, and this is down a hill. Okay, so they're coming down at 80 miles an hour, going through that water, and I'm getting like it's raining. 3 state troopers came. They didn't even get out of their car. That's how dangerous it was.
I can believe that.
Yeah. And then I got on my phone because I called 911 and told them what happened. And then I called up my AAA to come and get my car. Right. And after about a half an hour, the state trooper got out of his car. The other 2 state troopers moved their cars to block the highway up further. So trucks wouldn't come down the hill. They had the traffic all blocked. He goes, "Can you move your car?" I says, "Yeah, it's still running." So I drove it over to the side of the road, no problem. And he says, asked me all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. And I said, "Yeah, I'm going to work." I was working in Staten Island, New York at the time. And I said, "I'm going to go to work." He says, "No, you're not driving that car anywhere." I went out and looked, and there was no front end. I said, "Where did it go?" It totally disintegrated. So I said, I called AAA to come pick it up. And he says, "No, you can't do that. Because on the interstate highways in New Jersey, the state troopers have to call the road crew. You can't call them. They have to call them." because too many times people would call them and then they would come out and then they were gone. So they had to change the laws or something. So
Yeah.
it cost me $400 I had to pay that day to have my car towed to a garage. And then I went in there and I said, hey, I got AAA. Why do I have to pay? And they said, well, you know, blah, blah, blah. I says, so I called up AAA and I said, hey, listen, well, AAA refunded me my money. Okay. I was lucky about that. And then I said, hey, I don't want this car in this lot. I want you to drive it from here to where I was living. And that was another hour away. So they drove it there and it was in the driveway there. The guy I was living with, him and I worked for FedEx at the time. And then I had to go buy another car. And I put that car up on Craigslist, I think it was at the time. And some guy from Brooklyn came over, looked at it, says, okay, we'll be back. And I got like $1,500 for the car. A week later, he came, gave me $1,500, and he had all the parts, put it all together in the driveway. And about an hour later, they drove it away. Yeah, 280,000 miles. It's probably still running somewhere.
Yeah, probably is. Well, you know, we got an old 89 Ford truck that's well over 200,000 miles right now, and it's had a far less than charmed life. But
yeah, so so. But
Dad had an old truck one time, a late 70s model Ford pickup. He was a big Ford guy. Anything. You
just disappeared for a minute.
Yeah, I don't know if my Wi-Fi just died or what, but But anyway, just kind of finish the story right quick. That old truck he had, he bought off of a guy we knew.
Have a good night, Trackside Mike. Have a good night.
Yeah, have a good one, Trackside Mike. He bought off of a guy he knew, and we drove for several years, and finally if you know the old Ford trucks had kingpins in them in the front end, and they were bad about freezing up. And it made that thing an absolute nightmare to drive. It would just wobble all over the road. And when you would go around a corner, you would have to turn the wheel before you got to the corner where it would catch and finally turn. And then before you exit the corner, you had to straighten the wheel back up.
Yeah.
Or you'd be on the other side of the road.
Okay, John, take it easy. Thanks for stopping in and have a good night. Yeah, so that's, I had another car. It was a Nissan Sentra, and that gave me 210,000 miles out of that car. And that car died on the road. I was working in Atlantic City at that time, and I lived outside Atlantic City, and I was driving to work, and it's snowing that day. It just died right there. Right on a highway. So I got on my cell phone and I called the operator. Back then you could still call the operator. And I said, where's the local dealers? And she found one in a town, 2 towns up, about 20 miles. And I said, okay, I called them up and I said, this is what I want. This is what I need. And he said, yeah, we got one here. I said, good, I'll be there shortly. So I walked in the snow 20 miles to get to that dealership, bought the car with no money in my account. And I told him, I'm going to write you out a check. And it was $15,000 for that car. It was a brand new Honda Civic. It was $15,000. So that's how long ago it was. So I wrote out a check for $15,000 and I dated it for Monday. And he said, no problem. Don't worry about it. They just wanted to make a sale, So Monday morning, I went to my mom's house and my account was all compromised, and I finally got some money. And then I went there and gave them the $15,000 in cash and took care of it. So he was. He said, "I said, see, I wasn't going to stiff you, you know." So I got to drive a brand new car all weekend, and didn't pay a dime for it. So it was a pretty good thing.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and that was the car that I ran into the wall.
Oh,
Yeah, but that was many years later because that car went all the way down to Key West, Florida. And then when I came back, that's when it happened. After I came back.
yeah. These vans we got out here, these new vans. When we first got them, the hybrid vans, we weren't real sure how they was going to do, and wintertime was pretty rough on the first year we had them, or the first winter we had them. But what we found out what was going on, for those that don't know how these rail crew vans are set up, they have a camera sitting right in the middle of the windshield.
Yeah.
And what that thing does, if you hit 80 miles an hour or faster, or you slam on the brakes real hard, it'll set that camera off and it'll take a picture of you and whatever's in front of you.
Right.
And they'll send it straight to the president of the company.
Right. Yeah, that's how they keep track of things. Yeah.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
And we'll just kind of finish what I was saying. What we found out was in the wintertime, the vans wouldn't start. And what we found out was the camera, they had wired the camera in such a way. I guess they had Toyota, the local Toyota dealership they got off of, to do the wiring it up and everything. And I guess what happened was they wired the camera into the battery so that even when you shut the van off, the camera was still going. And it was killing the battery.
Yeah.
So we fixed that, and now you can jump in them, and they'll fire up in 0-degree weather and all that.
Yeah. So that car, when I was moving back from Key West to New Jersey, I rented a U-Haul, and I had it all loaded up, and I had a trailer to put the front wheels on it. You drive it up onto that. You just have the front wheels on it, and then the rear wheels, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, on the road. And so I'm leaving the U-Haul place, and I'm driving down this side street in Key West from the U-Haul place, and all of a sudden I look, and my car is passing me on the truck. And I was only doing like 10 miles an hour down that road. And the car dropped off the thing and started rolling because it was like a little downhill. So I had to slam on the brakes and the truck get out and then run to get to the car and hit the brakes in the car. So I had to call. Yeah, I go, I didn't have the, the straps correct. So I called my buddy up that I was working with, and he came over, and then he helped me get the straps on, and then it worked all the way home. So but that was, I go, where the hell did that car come from? Yeah. And fortunately, there was no cars on either side of that street parked, right?
That's a good thing right there.
It would have started bouncing off all those cars.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but you know what happened? Once I got it, it came over to the side of the, it went in front of the truck, and then I got it over just in time, but I hit the brakes, and it hit, somebody had a bicycle chained to a pole, and it hit the bicycle, the rear tire, and the girl comes out screaming, "Oh, you hit my bike," blah, blah, blah. And then my buddy, he took care of the mechanical things where we worked. And so he said, "Don't worry, bring the bike down to the shop and I'll fix it for you." So he took care of it. And I guess she was a good looking girl and he wanted to, yeah, it was funny. I saw him driving down the highway at nighttime. He'd have one girl going this way and then coming back with another girl going that way. And I
knew some people that were like that.
His fiance lived with him in a house, and his girlfriend lived in a house next door. But his fiance was always out with her job on the road, and she was a computer person, so she was doing computer jobs all over the country. And on New Year's Eve, they both were in town at the same time, which they hardly ever were in town at the same time. So he had to change the clocks in his own house an hour earlier. So, and I said, how's she not going to know that it's not midnight already? You know, because they all have phones and everything, right? But she didn't figure it out, because he went over to his girlfriend's house to celebrate midnight. Then he came back after that. He said, okay, I'm going to go home tired. Then he went over there, and it wasn't midnight yet in his house because the clocks were changed. And he did that. And it was the funniest thing, man. He was a funny guy. He was a real funny guy.
That's quite a story right there.
Yeah. So, all right, Dave. Good night. Have a good one. Yeah, guys are dropping off now. That's good, because I was going to close this out because I said it.
All right.
Yeah, it's about an hour. That's good enough for me. So,
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody coming out tonight, and I hope everybody has a good day tomorrow. And for those who are going to Amherst, hope to see you there. And again, thanks for all showing up. I appreciate it. And Randall and Peyton, you were awful quiet tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just everybody take care, and we'll see you all soon.
All right. See you guys. Thanks, Thomas. We'll see you.
Take it easy. Bye.
Yeah. See you.